was once a wicked magician who lived in Africa. One day he learned that outside the walls of a certain great eastern city there was a secret cave, and in the cave there was a wonderful lamp which would make him the most powerful man in the world if it was handed to him by a boy by the name of Aladdin. At once the magician started out for the city. Now Aladdin was the son of a tailor called Mustafa, who had died when Aladdin was very young. The boy was supposed to be learning to be a tailor like his father, but he didn't care for the work very much and was always running off to play with his friends and getting into mischief. It didn't take the magician very long to find Aladdin. Pretending to be kind and friendly, he told the boy he was his long-lost uncle, and Aladdin took him home to meet his mother. Naturally, the poor woman was very surprised when her son arrived with a richly dressed stranger, but the magician had brought gifts of food and money, and so he was made welcome. The next day, the magician said he would like to buy Aladdin some fine new clothes, but instead of taking him to the shops, he led the boy outside the city walls. Aladdin couldn't understand why and asked where they were going. Telling the boy he would be well rewarded, the magician led him to the lonely spot where the secret cave lay hidden. Here, the magician made a fire and sprinkled some magic powder on it. Suddenly the earth shook, uncovering a large flat stone with a brass ring in the middle of it. Aladdin was very frightened, but the magician promised no harm would come to him as long as he did as he was told. Together they pulled up the stone, and under it saw a flight of steps leading down into a cavern. Slipping a magic ring on Aladdin's finger, the magician ordered him to go down into the cavern and bring out a lamp he would find there. When Aladdin got to the bottom of the steps, he was amazed to see that the walls of the cavern were studded with jewels, and all around him there were bronze vases full of gold and silver. Hastily, Aladdin scooped handfuls of the coins into his pockets. Then, taking the lamp from its niche, he started back up the steps towards the daylight. "Have you got the lamp?" called the magician anxiously. "Yes, I have it." "Hand it up to me," ordered the magician. "Not until I'm safely out of here. I'll give it to you as soon as I'm above ground again." This made the magician very angry. He raved, argued, and pleaded, but Aladdin stubbornly refused to part with the lamp until he was out of the cave. Black with rage, the baffled magician slammed the flat stone back into place, throwing some more powder on the fire. Once again he made the earth shake, and it covered up all trace of the cavern. Furious, he returned to Africa without the wonderful lamp he had come so far to possess. Trapped in the pitch darkness of the cave, Aladdin put his hands together to pray. In doing so, he rubbed the magic ring on his finger, and instantly a genie appeared. He said he would take Aladdin anywhere in the world he wished to go. Aladdin told the genie that all he wanted was to be free again, and at once he found himself outside the cave with the lamp in his hand. For quite a while, Aladdin and his mother lived comfortably on the gold and silver which the boy had brought home in his pockets. But the day came when all the money was spent, and there was no more food in the house. Aladdin wondered whether he could sell the dirty old lamp he had brought from the cave, and to make it look better, his mother started to clean it up. The moment she rubbed it with a cloth, a huge, weird creature appeared.
"I am the slave of the lamp. You are my master. Command, and I obey."
Although he was very scared, Aladdin managed to ask for something to eat, and immediately the table was covered with golden bowls filled with delicious food and golden goblets brimming with wine. The next day, Aladdin sold the golden bowls and goblets and got so much money for them that once again he and his mother lived comfortably for quite a while. All too soon, however, they were hungry again. But this time, Aladdin knew what to do. He rubbed the wonderful lamp, and again the slave of the lamp appeared and made a banquet appear by magic. Very soon, Aladdin was asking for fine clothes for himself and his mother, and a new house and new furniture, And as Aladdin became braver and braver in his commands to the slave of the lamp, so it came to pass that Aladdin, the son of Mustafa the tailor, living in a magnificent palace and adorned with priceless jewels, was married to the Sultan's daughter, the beautiful Princess Yasmin. Now, when the magician, far away in Africa, learned what had happened, he knew at once that Aladdin must have escaped from the cave and be in possession of the wonderful lamp. So, mad with jealousy, he set off once more on the long journey to the eastern city. When the magician saw Aladdin's palace, which only a genie could have built, the magician was more determined than ever to get the wonderful lamp for himself. First, he bought some new copper lamps. Then, disguised as a peddler, he walked under the princess's window, calling out, "New lamps for old! New lamps for old!" Hearing his cry, the princess remembered Aladdin's old lamp. Thinking it might please her husband to have a new one in exchange, the princess told one of her slaves to take the old lamp out to the peddler, little knowing, of course, that it was magic. Eagerly, the magician gave the slave a new lamp and seized the one that she gave him in exchange. At last, the wonderful lamp was safely in his grasp. He gave it a rub, and instantly the slave appeared, saying,
"Master, command, and I obey."
Laughing triumphantly, the magician ordered, "Transport me, the palace, and the princess to Africa." The Sultan blamed Aladdin for his daughter's disappearance and told him that if he valued his life, he must get her back. Aladdin was in despair. Then he remembered the ring the magician had given him before when he went into the cave, and hurriedly rubbed it. At once the genie of the ring appeared. "Take me to the princess," commanded Aladdin, and instantly the two lovers were reunited. Together they worked out a plan. That night the princess slipped a powder into the magician's wine cup, and he fell fast asleep. Climbing in through the window, Aladdin heaved the magician over his shoulder and carried him outside. Untying the wonderful lamp from the magician's belt, Aladdin returned with it to the princess. Summoning the slave of the lamp, Aladdin commanded that the palace and all in it be returned to the eastern city, and the magician woke up, just in time to see it flying away. Safely home again, Aladdin and Yasmin lived contentedly in their lovely home, with the slave of the wonderful lamp ready to grant their every wish. And when the Sultan died, Aladdin succeeded him, and with Yasmin as his queen, ruled the land wisely and well, in happiness and peace.